Well, in order to make people confident, it's kind of a multi-tiered approach, right? So first off, you need to remove fear. And the first question is, can you remove fear? Can you actually assure people that they cannot make mistakes? It's a slippery slope when you think about that, because in terms of decision making, in order for people to grow, they need to take over some responsibilities. They need accountability. They need to be in charge of something that's important, right? Because executives are in charge. Like the reason they're paying, so much, they're, famous, is because the responsibilities they have. If they make a mistake, the stock market is down 10%, 15%, 20%, right? People are losing jobs. Investors are losing money. PR teams, get wild trying to fight fires and so forth. So kind of in order to grow professionally, with great power comes great responsibility. So the question is, can you actually assure that these people are not going to mess up whatever they're in charge of? So that's kind of the first question, right? So the more you work with people, they're more valuable if they take on more responsibility, and they have to cut their margin of error. They have to, they shouldn't forget things. They shouldn't delay things, right? They should communicate if they see an obstacle early enough. Like those are very important things to make sure that that things are being kept in the right place. And then the second thing is kind of try to build processes, right? The best way to ensure that things don't get forgotten is building process, automating things, using tools that get 90% of the job done. Use tools that are forms with next, so that people always know what and when to do, right? Like imagine that you need to submit your stand-up or whatever, like early in the morning or in the evening. Well, send an email, right? Use a tool that sends an email to everyone. Email is like, the mandatory tool of communication. Then send an email, you answer 3 questions, and then you submit your stand-up, right? So this is the proactive and the reactive way of ensuring. The proactive way to enforcing automation is build tooling and send reminders and calendar invites and things that always remind people, and people can use their basal ganglia, which is kind of part of the brain that does things on autopilot. You don't have to remember that, right? Almost like 7 a.m., you drive with your car, you're still sleepy, you go to work because your brain remembers the direction. You know where to turn right, and kind of you just know the direction. Like when you start a new job or like the first few days after school, some people actually go to their former school because they're used to going there for like 5 years, or like they take the wrong bus or whatever it is. That's what the basal ganglia does. So you need to teach people to do that in almost like zombie mode, right? They should automatically be able to take charge of this. And then there's the reactive way to do that, which is quality assurance, which is editing, which is kind of monitoring like reports and tracking and stand-ups and hours and things like that, right? So in other words, like teaching responsibility is trying to get rid of the fear with the right direction, like just giving high-level vision direction, building tooling like resources, sheets, documents, papers, checklists, whatever it is, to make sure that people are following most of the right steps. So you're reducing the margin of error by really defining the direction. And the last one is, having the ability to cross-check and double-check and verify that the work is being done on time. Again, writers have editors. Developers have quality assurance teams. And that's kind of how the ball keeps rolling, and that's how you establish kind of better and easier process. And of course, like especially when you're expanding and growing, you normally have training programs, you have training resources and courses and books and handbooks and tests and certifications to ensure that things are going in the right direction.